My name is Namjoon Cho, and I was born in Korea, and I lived here until I was 8 years old. That's when my parents decided to move to America for a better education for their children. They were planning on only staying for like a couple of years, just for us to like see more of the world and learn English. But they saw that we really liked it there, so they did everything they could to stay there until we graduated. I was living in Ohio at first when we moved to the States, until college. My mother was a housewife, and my dad, he did international business, so he moved around a lot. One of his big things that he wanted to, like, pass down to us was to show us more of the world. Back when I was living in Korea, everybody's just everybody is a Korean. Moving to the States, like, it's I see, like, white people, black people, Chinese, Japanese. At first, I was a little uncomfortable with that, and also the language barrier. Like, I had trouble, like, making friends, like, connecting to people more, and that part about it was really rough. Some teachers were just not very nice to me. Most of them were nice, but, like, especially, like, the principal, he was a bit unfair to me, I remember. A couple times, there was, like, conflict, like, a little conflict where the other kid would incite, like, some sort of, a fight, and it would eventually grow into this big mess, and then, like, the supervisors would come, and since I couldn't speak for myself, I could not give my side of the story, and it was just the other kid telling the whole thing. The most difficult thing about adjusting was culture and language, probably. For my siblings, it was much harder. Like, my sister, she moved when she was in middle school, so she had the most, trouble adjusting. Military, it started late July of 2020. Preparing for the military was just, taking a physical exam. Basic training is 4 weeks of just training. Like, we did shooting, we did real life combat situation, and, gas chambers, a lot of just physical training. During that 4 weeks, you were in the barracks, and you had a squad of, like, 10 to 16 people. Basic training for me was pretty rough. My Korean back then was not as good as it was now, and just communicating with people, like, I could understand people, like, 70-80% of the time, but that 20-30%, I feel like it was defining it in, like, really connecting to people. I told everybody that I was basically American. I identified as American, and some of them were just not very accepting of that. It was just hard for them to comprehend, like, what I have been through. So it was hard for them to understand where I was coming from. Well, sometimes it would be very direct. They'd be like, "Hey, American, like, you're American, so you don't know this, like, obscure Korean thing." There was this one particular guy who was he was honestly kind of a bully, and nobody would stand up for me. When it comes to conflict, it's hard for me to do something about it in the moment, especially when it's in a different language. Like, maybe in English, I could, like, react or, like, say something like "please stop" or something like that. But in Korean, it's like I don't think I would even have known what to say, so I couldn't, like, react or, like, even talk to him about it. During this time, my Korean pride, it definitely went up a little bit because basic training, like, part of it is designed for, like, the soldiers to become more patriotic. Like, when I got out of service, I was like, "Wow, they really over they really overblew, like, a lot of the little facts they gave us." I did feel a little more Korean after I left. Even before coming into service, I was trying to convince myself that I'm a Korean, so, like, it's my duty. I owe it to my ancestors, like, my parents, like, I have to do this. It was the actual service itself, the social service itself, when I felt more American. I started out feeling Korean, and as my service went on, it died off. Social service is different for everybody. Where you're assigned to is a big part of, like, what you do. For me, it was prosecution office, so all I did was deliver papers and help with setting up furniture. Those 2 were just my big duties, 2 big duties, and that was it. So it was a lot of downtime. Being stuck in an office, with like 10 other people like me, or like just 10 other Koreans, it made me realize like even like all the small things that's more Korean and which is more American. And I would just feel a lot of differences, big and small. The people in my social service definitely accepted me more than people in my basic training. Maybe it's because it was like for a longer time. I was serving in the office for a longer time than basic training. So they had to like we had to get along. At first, it I didn't really care about um being more American, but as people said it more and more, like I felt more distant from Koreans. And I guess that's a part of the reason why I was feeling more American throughout my service. Well, for people like me who lived in America for a long time and came here to do military service, I would tell them, don't let anyone tell you who you are. Like just know where you're from, know who you are, be very strong in your identity. My name is Namjoon Cho, and this is my Korean American story.